Hello my friends and welcome. My name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's start from the military map and the situation that is ongoing on the front lines. Let's go to the main hotspot on the eastern part of Ukraine. Here we speak about the Bakhmut city and also Avdiivka and Marinka and Pisky. Recently there are lots of fighting. So Marinka is here, very near to the self-proclaimed Republic of Donetsk, and since the beginning of the war there was no big movement, but recently Russia moved their forces and they were able to capture some part of this village. While Marinka and Avdiivka and Pisky, so this is the Pisky, the same situation is out there. Russia moved their forces and they got control over the part of this, I would say it's the town. Why those cities here are important? Because Ukraine was building the huge defense line across this front line for long years, and if Russia would cross that front line, they will have access to reach probably Pokrovsk, and they can go northbound to Kramatorsk from this area. So it's very important for Ukraine to keep those villages under control, and probably we'll also build the secondary defense line. I don't know for sure, my friends, but we also have some of the natural obstacles like lakes and water storages that create some difficulties for Russian forces maneuvers. As for the Bakhmut, Russian forces moved closer to the Zaitsevo, kind of small village, but there is the road that can lead to Bakhmut as well. So the objective for Russia is to attack Bakhmut city because it's a very important crossroad. I would say the same importance as in Izum direction. So it's the crossroad where you can go to Kramatorsk here and also to Slavyansk, whatever, my friends. But Russia wants to attack the city from the northeast, I would say, and south part. But so far there is no huge artillery fire, but Russia uses their ground forces mainly nowadays to attack the city. They use the private military campaign Chevika Wagner, it's the name of the campaign, and they are more effective obviously compared to Russian casual Russian soldiers. And let's see the biggest movement recently, my friends. It happened here near to Izum. Ukrainian army was able to push towards Izum city over here, and we took Dovhanke village. So it was yesterday like that, and today this night we were able to push Dovhanke, and we pushed before from Dmitrovka and we pushed to Pasika. So Russia moved their forces away from Izum. So before there were lots of forces here in this area, it was the main Russian hub, but they moved some of the forces here northbound. They're moving them to Kharkiv area. Probably, it's just my guess, my friends, that they want to attack from this direction, from Kharkiv, and they want to gain some of the territory. So they're moving their forces from Izum northbound, and from the eastern part of Ukraine, mostly they're moving their forces to Zaporizhia region, and from Zaporizhia region over here, they're moving their forces to Kherson. They concentrated already 25,000 soldiers here in this area that can easily be cut by Ukrainian artillery if we just destroy a single line that connects this territory with the Russian control territory, and the forces also coming from Crimea to this part. So actually we destroyed Antonovsky Bridge. Russia still isn't able to build the Panton Bridge. They put some of the ferries to carry the vehicles, and together with their armored vehicles they also carry civilian vehicles just to make sure that the Ukrainian army would not attack those, and the military supplies as well. So there is only one line how they can supply this part of the front line with tanks and heavy armored vehicles. And basically we can cut this part. I will show you the different image from the Google Maps. So here we go. This is Novakhovka, and actually Ukrainian forces may cut this dam without destroying it. So we cannot destroy this dam because there is the huge water storage on the right, and all the water would just go to Kherson, devastating Russian forces. I got some of the comments saying that we should destroy this dam and the water will just destroy Russian soldiers, but still, my friends, there are lots of civilians all along the Dnieper River in this area. There are lots of villages. Kherson city is kind of populated. Many civilians still left there, and we just gonna kill lots of people. Why should we do it, my friends? It's not okay. But we can cut this part of the road near to the dam. So this is the dam itself. But we can cut this road over here. It's the thinnest part. The road over here is just 30 meters wide, my friends. So with HIMARS, rocket artillery systems, and also if we would have the tactical ballistic rocket ATACMS for the HIMARS system, we would be able to destroy this part of the dam. But also with HIMARS system, with the standard rockets, I think this task is real. So we need to cut this dam. Why are we not cutting the lines for Russian army? Basically, I think that the aim of our Ukrainian military command is to put Russian forces to that area of Kherson, and after that cut the supply lines for them. So there will be like 25,000 soldiers, lots of tanks, armored vehicles, and they would not be able to go back. So here it is like that. All those bridges will be just cut, and all of the most of the Russian forces will be over here. I think around 30% of all Russian army nowadays concentrated in this region. And we do expect that Russian forces may go on some sort of the fake or illusional attack for Ukrainian controlled territories. I mean Mykolaiv, Kryvyi Rih, or maybe even Zaporizhia and Kharkiv from the north side, because they're throwing their forces to that part as well. Why do I think like that? Well, basically, Russia wants peaceful negotiations now with Ukraine. They want to secure the land they already got, and they are exhausted. They cannot go on massive attack. So what they're gonna do? They want probably to simulate it. It's gonna be as on 24th of February, then they start their massive attack, but with much less scale. So they're gonna attack, try to attack our territory, and we have our own troops mostly gathered here for the counterattack. So as we wanted to counterattack, we were not be able to build a huge defense lines over here, and Russia wants to use this time to attack our forces. And immediately after that attack, they're gonna put the question for negotiations that, okay, we're gonna stop our attack if you will start to talk with us on a peaceful kind of negotiations. Because remember, after this war started in February, the Ukrainian side agreed on negotiation first, but after that, then we all saw that Russia struggles here. Ukrainian side said, no, we're gonna receive weapons and we're gonna fight back and free our territories. So Russia now wants to try again to attack our cities over here. So I would say the massive counterattack from Ukrainian side for this month, for August, officially been cancelled, I think, and we should expect the fake Russian attack. So it will be real, understand, it will be real, but it's gonna start with some tactical achievements probably, but without any kind of strategic aims if we speak about the war. So the main objective for Russia is to start negotiations right now, because they are suffering again during the sanction period. But for Ukraine, it's better to defend our territory, defend our country, and not to go on those kind of peaceful negotiations with Russia. But obviously there could be some of the different scenarios where Ukrainian leaders might go on those negotiations, but Russia would not give those lands in that case. Well, actually, I call this operation for Russia the one-way ticket, because even with 25,000 soldiers here in this region, they are unable to take Odessa. There is no any way. Maybe they would try, and first they need obviously go to Voznesensk over here, return to Odessa, because there are lots of natural obstacles, Limans, rivers, so there is no any way they will take even Mykolaiv city. That's what I think, my friends. So basically, one-way ticket for Russia. They need to start it now, because soon we're gonna receive the first Lend-Lease delivery from the United States of America, and the weaponry that we have right now delivered to Ukraine from the United States are coming not according to Lend-Lease program, but according to some of the occasional signs help for Ukraine by Biden, by Pentagon. So it's not the Lend-Lease so far. The first Lend-Lease expected in October, unfortunately, but maybe even in late September. So we're gonna see, my friends, but in October we're gonna have the first Lend-Lease delivery from United States, and that completely changes the situation on the front lines. And Russia needs to act right now. They need to push Ukraine for the peaceful negotiations. They don't care about their losses right now. They need to save their own Russian regime that is very desperate, because why should they have started this war is unimaginable for me, my friends. They thought that they will just take Ukraine under their control very easily, but we fight back. With your help, obviously. Did I expect this move from Russia, my friends? No, I didn't. I thought that we're gonna go on a counterattack for Kherson. Firstly, they removed some of the forces from Kherson to fight on the eastern side of Ukraine. And now they return everything back. They're really afraid of that widely announced counterattack by our president, by our government. We're gonna go on a counterattack. We're gonna go on a counterattack. It seems like we called the Russians to go to this region. Then we're gonna destroy all the supply lines, and we're just gonna block 25,000 Russian soldiers in this region. And if we'll have enough weapons, obviously, we're gonna destroy their forces out there. As for today, we were able to target Chernobylivka again. It's 33rd time, I think. Yes, there is the spot. No, it's not on Chernobylivka, but far away. I think it's just a random fire, but I got on the news today that we were able to fire towards Chernobylivka, and they lost one more ammunition depot there, and we again targeted near to the railroad bridge. It is completely unusable to deliver any kind of supplies, goods, armored vehicles, and before then it was working. Russia used it many times because they mostly throw their forces not by roads but by the railroads. So this is the railroad bridge. It cannot be used. Antonsky Bridge cannot be used. The only thing that can be used is this dam over here, but as I told you, we already found the weak place for that dam, and we're gonna shut it down for Russians. Russia also wants to secure this place near to Kherson, because they announced the referendum for this region to join the Russian Federation. It's announced for the September, I think 11th of September, and they want to conduct it. So that is why they throw the forces over there to secure the area. And Russia is eagerly searching for the supplies to their army, not on Kherson, but in general. So they got supplies from Belarusian army. Belarus has lots of supplies left from the Soviet Union, and now they throw them to Russian army. The Russian army uses those to fight in Ukraine, and it says that Belarusian army probably would not dare to attack Ukraine in future, because why would you give your armors to somebody if you want to attack the country? I think it's just nonsense. And also we got the information about the train that was blown up a couple of days ago in Kherson, Russian train that was carrying supplies, armored vehicles, and lots of soldiers. Before we get the information that Russia fired up the smoke to hide the train from the HIMARS, and that is why it exploded, because the smoke generators were so near to the ammunition. But actually today we got the confirmation from our forces that it was the Ukrainian attack on that train. All of the train was demolished. Russia lost lots of the forces. Around 80 Russian soldiers lost their lives, and many injured. And injured personnel was delivered even to Sevastopol hospital, far away from Kherson, I would say. and it is clearly said that all of the hospitals on that way in Melitopol, in Kherson itself, Simferopol, are overwhelmed with Russian soldiers. It means they are in lack of forces and they have severe losses all across the front lines. Alright, my friends, and now let's check out some news and events. I got those from Ukrainian Telegram groups mostly. So the North Macedonia gave Ukraine 4 of those airplanes. Those are attack airplanes Sukhoi Su-25. That is competitor for the Warthog A-10 Thunderbolt 2. Obviously, A-10 is much better than Sukhoi. However, Sukhoi is still okay for Ukrainian forces, and our pilots trained to fly those attack airplanes that we use mostly on the front lines. It also has some sort of the gun on the front, but it's not as effective as a Thunderbolt 2 attack airplane gun. Obviously, we have lots of the bombs it may carry and maybe air-to-ground rockets. Still good, reliable airplane. Very interesting that North Macedonia got those airplanes from Ukraine back in 2001. Then they got some of the conflict on their territory. So they are basically giving those airplanes to Ukraine back. And this X-ray shows how difficult it is for our soldiers to fight on the front lines. Basically, this particular soldier got wounded and was fighting for 3 weeks on the front lines, and after a while he started to feel some kind of pain in his back, and he went to doctor. Doctors say that he got some shrapnel debris in his cord, in his spine, I would say, and this particular part of his cord just got broken because of this shell. And it is fantastic how he was fighting for 3 weeks with that thing in his back. Alright, some news about Taiwan again. China, the mainland China, is on its drills near to Taiwan, and Taiwan start to throw their forces near to the coast, and they carry those what they carry, M114 artillery systems, which are 155 millimeter caliber, standard NATO caliber, I would say. And yeah, the tensions got escalated, but still after this Pelosi visit to Taiwan, I would say that America is great again, my friends. They may show to the world that they are the main power, and Communist China is some sort of a paper tiger. They cannot do anything with that visit of Pelosi. If they would shut down the airplane, that would be clearly a war. And now they want to fight after the fight is over, basically. September is very important month for Communist China. There will be Communist Party meeting. On that one, they should elect new leader for the country. But the current country leader, Xi Jinping, wants to prolong his duties for eternity until he's alive, I would say. He wants to become the new imperator of China. But my friends, I don't think that they will elect this current leader, Xi Jinping, after he failed this some sort of the operation that was done by United States. So it's not just Pelosi's visit. It was the visit negotiated with the government of United States, with its army, and even air carriers and fighter jets were used to secure her visit to that island. I'm not pro-democratic, I'm not pro-republican, but here I see that United States of America is a strong country, and they show it to the world. And those are the rocket artillery systems firing directly to Taiwan. Obviously, those shells will land just to the water before reaching Taiwan, but still, it's the mainland China. People are just watching, filming, open day. I think China just wants to show something. We are doing something, right? We are on military drills. We will fight but fight is over. Nancy Pelosi already went to South Korea, and from the information I got, she gonna visit the demilitarized area between the North Korea and South Korea as well. And here we have some sort of statement. Many analytics believe that despite the huge discrepancy between the two sides, obviously Taiwan army is much smaller compared to China, but Taiwan's geography, terrain, and US support mean that China would find a full-scale invasion of the island extremely hard going and costly. Obviously, China's army is just incomparable to the power of US army. Even though China has 3 air carriers, but 2 of them are very old-fashioned and out of competition with the United States air carriers, and the last one, air carrier that China launched just last month, is still unable to perform for 100% because still they need to install lots of equipment on that air carrier. It is very fresh, it cannot fight on the full power, so for now that invasion is not possible for China or for Taiwan, I would say. But my friends, still we have some sort of the tensions, and I think in a few days those tensions will just disappear, go away, and the North Korea went out from the nuclear agreement. They need more rockets probably to, they say, to defend their country. So I think the world should push that country to decrease the number of the warheads, because this fluffy boy is kind of crazy. My friends, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you like what I do, just press the like button. And also there are so many ways how you can support my channel. All the links are in the video description just below for you to check it out. Those could be Patreon, PayPal, or Donatella, whichever you like to support my channel. And obviously a huge part of that funds goes for charity purposes. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.